Here with us now is Executive Director of the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, Paul Rieckhoff, and the star of the hit NBC show Heroes, Milo Ventimiglia. Thank you both very much for joining us.
Our pleasure.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Paul, I'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about your organization. I love what it does. Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America.
Thank you very much, Mika. IAVA, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, is the first and largest nonprofit created by and supporting the veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan. We support the 1.8 million men and women who've served in Iraq and Afghanistan since 9/11 and their families. So it's a relatively new organization, but it's been growing rapidly. You guys have been fantastic, and we're really making some good headway.
Great. Joe?
Hey, you know, Paul, we didn't always agree over the past 8 years, but I always loved the fact that you fought hard for veterans and fought hard for the men and women on the ground over there. And you were tough on the Bush administration and in the early stages of the Obama administration. You've also been tough there when we talk about medical care. It always shocks me how Washington breaks its promises to its veterans. The Obama administration had actually tried to get veterans coming home who were wounded to have to pay for their own injuries through third-party insurance. You went over to the White House and told them what?
We told them it was dead on arrival. It was a terrible plan that would have negatively impacted vets. Any attempt to push off the cost of service-connected disabilities, wounds sustained in war, was absolutely unacceptable. So you saw our group and all the leading veterans groups met with the president, met with General Shinseki, the new secretary at VA, pushed back hard on this, and they dropped it. So it was definitely a bad move. They dropped it, and we've moved on now. They've got a good funding increase in the works. The GI Bill is set to come online in May, and I think they've recovered. They learned quickly, and now they're focused on vets in a good way, and we're going to keep them accountable, no matter who they are, Republicans or Democrats.
Milo, tell us how you got involved. I understand you were part of a USO tour that went overseas. Why are you so interested in this cause?
My father's a Vietnam veteran, and I hooked up with Paul and the group and just understood what they were trying to do, the transition they're trying to make from soldier in combat to soldier or civilian back at home, and it was just a cause that I could get behind.
Look at those pictures, man. And you pay, I'm looking at Milo, because I don't stay up too late, but he's in Heroes, which is a great NBC hit show.
You don't have to stay up very late for Heroes.
I'm going to have to get TiVo in my house.
Milo, what time? Heroes used to be 8. My DVR gets it, so I'm not sure exactly the time, and it's a thing worth knowing. Our audience should maybe know when the show's on.
It's a great show. I want to know how
when is it on?
It's on Monday nights at 9 p.m. on NBC.
There you go. All right.
Mr. Zucker, I've done my morning chore here.
Exactly. Thank you for that promotional help there, Lawrence. But does the theme of the show, Milo, inspire you at all? Or how did you get involved here?
It absolutely inspires me. I mean, the theme of the show is everyday people that discover they have extraordinary abilities. I mean, when I was over on my USO tour, I met 6,000 soldiers, shook 6,000 hands, and these people were inspiring me just by the work that they were doing, the sacrifices they were making, and not only them, but the sacrifices their families made back at home. So when I had the opportunity to get involved with the IAVA and what their initiatives were and trying to bring these soldiers home in the right way, it was just a natural fit to, I guess, how I like to live my life.
Hey, Paul, it's Willie. It's good to see you this morning. What are the one or two things that concern you most when our veterans come home? I know you talk about marital strain, drug and alcohol dependence. What are the things that keep you up at night as you worry about our veterans?
Well, right now, I think it's the health care situation in general, but specifically mental health care. About 1 in 3 people are coming home with a mental health injury like post-traumatic stress disorder or severe depression. And now we're really focused on the families, too, which are a critical part of addressing those issues. So Milo was here with us in Los Angeles yesterday to launch our new campaign, SupportYourVet.org. And SupportYourVet.org has got a ton of resources for those families. If you're not sure if your family member might have a traumatic brain injury or is maybe dealing with some other transitional issues, you can go to this website and get the resources you need. VA resources, community-based nonprofit resources, and just a way to connect with other families. That's a critical part of this new campaign. Helping families connect with other people who've been through what they've been through can be huge, especially during those critical transition months.
Well, and I'll tell you what, the challenge is even greater now than ever before because, as you know, Paul, Our politicians in Washington, D.C. are demanding more and more, not only of our veterans, not only the men and women that serve this country overseas, because we're going to more places than ever before, but they demand more of those that stay at home, their children, their husbands, their wives. So we just want to thank you and also Milo so much for caring for the men and women that serve this country so proudly every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys very much. We appreciate the support.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Jim.
Now, to learn more about Iraq and Afghanistan's Veterans of America, visit joe.msnbc.com, as well as supportyourvets.org. And also